Hi, everyone. There were important developments this week on House Republicans' harmful budget bill that they continue to push, which would slash Medicaid and food assistance, all to fund tax breaks for the very wealthy and the biggest corporations. Now, there are real consequences in this bill for the people of New Hampshire. That's why I met with healthcare providers, advocates, and Medicaid recipients in Laconia on Monday. We discussed the importance of Medicaid and the support that it gives people for their healthcare, their housing, and employment services. I heard from several Lakes Region residents who talked about how Medicare provides them with support and, most importantly, a level of mobility, dignity, and independence that they deserve. I also spoke with parents of individuals with disabilities who told me about the essential in-home support that their family receives and what they would have to do, including quitting their jobs if it no longer is available to them. These personal experiences must be part of the conversation in Washington. This week, several committees in Congress assembled their portion of the budget bill, some voting out their proposals in the dead of the night along party lines. But there can be no hiding just how disastrous these cuts would be. Here are the facts on this bill and what it would mean for the people of New Hampshire. Nearly 37,000 Granite Staters who receive coverage under Medicaid or the Affordable Care Act would lose their health care under this bill. It jeopardizes the health coverage for 187,000 New Hampshire families in total, including more than 85,000 children and 9,000 seniors. The legislation also would kick 14,000 individuals out of the food assistance program called SNAP. And another 63,000 Granite Staters who also count on SNAP to put food on the table would see their benefits cut. Hundreds of hungry kids across the state will lose their school lunches. And the bill is fiscally reckless, adding $14 trillion to the national debt, all to give huge tax breaks to billionaires. So New Hampshire deserves better, and I'll keep working on behalf of all those who are expressing concern and are speaking out right now. At a hearing for the House Veterans Affairs Committee this week, I was able to ask some questions of VA Secretary Doug Collins. First, I got his commitment to engage directly with Granite State veterans and to support efforts to expand VA healthcare services as a study for a full-service hospital in New Hampshire moves forward. So veterans have been asking for this for about 20 years now. They're ready to move past the talking stage and to see some action on this. So I'm wondering if, as this study is moving forward, you're going to work to engage with veterans and stakeholders in the state of New Hampshire to make sure you're hearing directly from them and capturing their feedback.
Yes, Congressman, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you carrying the torch for that. Also, I've talked with your governor about this as well, and I can report to you that that feasibility study started this week. And we're going to be working with our stakeholders in New Hampshire and other places to make sure that this goes through.
I also pressed the Secretary on his abrupt decision to end a program that was protecting tens of thousands of veterans from foreclosure, leaving them without a last resort option to keep their homes. But I take exception to the claim of what you've said, which is that, quote, literally all VA stakeholders agree with what needs to be done, and that's reflected in the action that you're taking. I don't think that's true, because veterans I talk to don't agree with the abrupt ending to VAS. They don't agree that we should put more veterans at risk of foreclosure. They don't agree with the fact that we've seen crisis line employees lose their jobs who are in probationary status. They don't agree with the fact that your stated goal is to fire 83,000 workers that would cut deeply into VA's ability to meet the needs of our veterans and provide the kind of care and benefits that they deserve. I'll continue to stay on top of these issues because New Hampshire veterans deserve good health care and affordable housing. So I look forward to talking again soon.